As we mentioned, Four Corners is going to have this very detailed program on tonight, and to get more on that program, we're joined by the reporter, Marion Wilkinson. And Marion, of course, Gina Rinehart, I guess, has been a big force in WA for many, many years. She's only on the national scene, though, really sort of started to make herself felt and known in the last year or so. In terms of your work on this program, paint a picture for us about who Gina Rinehart is and what has been really motivating her and propelling her forward in terms of her business success.
Well, I think this is what the program tonight is trying to do, is look at who she really is, what shaped her character, and how she does business. And I think a lot of people will be very surprised to know that Gina Rinehart, although she has this now national profile as a mining magnate, that she has never in her own right fully owned and operated a mine, a going concern. And one of the things that I realised as we did this piece is that this is one of the things really driving her, because her famous father was never able to achieve this, and she is determined to achieve this. And someone who used to know her very well, Michael Yabsley, in the program, really explains this, I think, quite well. And you'll hear him now, I think, the way he puts it.
She may become the richest person on earth, but I think that she would consider that she had failed, and had failed on behalf of her father, if she does not actually operate a mine herself. I think it is the Holy Grail.
Fascinating insight into what is driving her so much. But Marion, so much of what we've seen and read about Gina has been not necessarily a positive thing. We've seen that very public and bitter dispute between herself and her family members, which many sort of picture her as this very controlling person who really, is struggling with how she manages her wealth and how she brings her family into that as well.
Yes, and I think you'll certainly see that tonight, that dispute with her children and what it says about her. I think it is fair to say she is a very controlling personality, and I think we found, as other people have found who've tried to look at Gina Rinehart and look at her in depth, is that a lot of people we wanted to speak to would not speak to us, certainly would not speak to us on camera. They felt that they risked some sort of legal action from her. Even if they weren't saying anything that was particularly negative, they just know that she has this reputation as a fearsome litigant, and were really, really reluctant to put themselves up. And also there was a lot of people who had previously been involved with her who had signed confidentiality agreements for one reason or another, and also for legal reasons would not talk about her. So it was a very, very difficult program actually to do for television. And of course she made it clear from the outset that she would not talk to us, and our communications were electronic.
Which sounds almost sort of, when you think about as fiercely private, fiercely protective, which makes her play into the Australian media quite puzzling.
It is a fascinating contradiction, isn't it? Because here is a business figure, a leading business figure in Australia, who I guess probably since about 1998 has not sat down for a full television interview, I don't think, or even a print interview with anyone. And this is really surprising when you think that she wants to run a company that is all about looking at for the public how Australians, and particularly how Australian business people do go about their work. And so I think this is going to be a very, very interesting clash of cultures. But on the other hand, she has extremely strong views about what the media should be covering. For example, she has very strong views on the mining tax, very strong views on the carbon tax, very strong views on migration agreements for the big mining projects. So she has a strong view on what should be in the papers, but she is very reluctant to herself open up to the media.
Fascinating contradiction. Marion Wilkinson, thanks for your time. We look forward to that program tonight.
Thank you.
And the Four Corners program is called The Power of One. And as much as she could, as she said, a very complex task, get a sense of Gina Rinehart.
You can catch it tonight on ABC One at 8:30.